Friends, hello and welcome to the Russian language for beginners. Today we have lesson number 17. We are already behind the half of the course. I think we only have about 10 lessons to go. And let me remind you what we have learned previously. Those are the words that we recently learned. Specifically, during the last lesson, we learned countries from Russia until Japan. And today we're going to learn the verbs. Yesterday, I started talking about the words, about the verbs, but we could only touch briefly. What I wanted to tell you that there is a lot of grammar in verbs, and a verb has many attributes. There are a number of aspects in every person, like a native speaker, when he hears a verb, he can tell those 6 components of this verb or features, these 6 features. Those features are encoded inside the verb. And sometimes a difference in one letter can make a big difference in meaning. So we are going to, in this course, we are only able to touch very basic things, very basic. Also, I want to let you know that in a verb consists of several parts: a root, ending, prefix. So there would be a root, ending, and prefix. I would like to give you an example in English, which is slightly similar. This particular verb is slightly similar to Russian. Come. Please come here. Come. Then if you add a prefix over come, over prefix, then it immediately has a very different meaning. Likewise, in Russian language, prefixes, suffixes, endings, they make a lot of difference. This is a whole universe. Verbs are the universe. They're so changeable. They're so numerous, so big. So just to let you know that you will be facing a challenge. Today, we are going to learn conjugation of verbs. Conjugation. All right, so we will learn the basics of conjugation. What is conjugation? Conjugation is a change of shape of a verb depending on situation. In English language, conjugation is also present, but in a very simplified way. Again, if we take the word come, if you use it with this subject I, then I come, he comes, you add s, so the shape of the verb has changed. However, in Russian language, it's more complicated than that. And I will give you an example. And see, we take a particular word, particular verb, and see how it should be used with different pronouns. I expect that you know the pronouns already. Я is me, ты is you, он is he, она is she, оно is it, мы is we is you guys, они means them. And the verb that we're gonna learn today is the verb знать. Знать, which in English means to know. Oh. Please note that this verb знать is in its original form. The original form in Russian language is exactly, Mohit, I see you know a bit of the conjugations already. That's great. It's called infinitive. Infinitive is the default form of a verb. And you see that the last two letters here are t. And this is the case for majority of Russian verbs. If you see t at the end, it means that this is infinitive. When you look up a verb in a dictionary, they will all be in the infinitive form, and they will all, or majority, will finish with t. I think about 95 to maybe 97% of the verbs, in infinitives, they finish with t, but not all. Some of them can finish with t. T. It means to carry. To carry. But this verb we're not going to learn today, so it is just illustration that there are differences. Some verbs can finish with a different ending. Okay. So how should I change the verb according to the pronoun? Я знаю, ты знаешь, он знает, она знает. As usual, I forgot to indicate the stress. Знает. Мы знаем. Вы знаете. Они знают. So please note that when we started conjugating those that verb, we took away the ending and we have put a different ending instead. think I should give you time to write it down. In the meantime, I'll be playing with my keyboard. Привет, Slava. I see you here. Happy to see you. Okay. Please note that for these three pronouns, the ending would be the same. By the way, when we talk about pronouns, we classify them. We'll say, we classify them in this way. Я, мы, ты, вы, он, оно, они. And then we say, let's put them into these three groups. And we say that the first group is called the first face. First person. It's called first person. Я and me. This is the first person. For those who know Russian a bit, it's called in Russian первое лицо. Первое лицо. But if you don't know about this, then don't worry. Just remember the first person. Then the second group would be called the second person. Second person. Второе лицо. And finally, the last group would be called the third person. Maybe in English there is something like this also. Third person. So again, don't bother about the Russian words if you don't know them. And then when we talk about pronouns, we say first person singular, that means я. First person plural, that means мы. Second person singular, it's ты. Second person plural, it's вы. Third person singular, он, она, оно. Third person plural, они. Please note that in the present tense, the third person singular, they all have the same ending for the verb. This ending et, at, yet is equivalent to the ending s in English. For example, works. It's like the letter S in English, and in Russian it would be yet. Okay, guys, I would like to get some feedback from you, whether you understand it or not, because I have more verbs for you, and I would like to make an exercise that I will give you a initial form, the infinitive, the verb in infinitive, and I would like to ask you to conjugate that verb for all the pronouns. Mohit, I am sure you understand. I'm sure, I know that your Russian is not basic. How about others? Do others understand? How about Lily? Lily, do you understand? Emil? Okay, so let's try. Let's try. The next word that we're going to conjugate would be работать. Работать, which means to work. Work. And please use the same formula, the one that I explained, to conjugate it for all the pronouns. You can take your time, and you can give me a chance to be lazy, because I can just wait until you finish. Maybe. Mohit, I admire you. Really. Okay, I see reply from Mohit, and I see reply from okay, Emil. Okay, that's great. Cindy, you can look at the notes. Okay, so I think you have more or less understood how it works. And since today is the first time we learning the verbs, I have prepared a few more verbs. And those verbs that I have prepared for you, they are very simple because they all follow the same formula. I'll give you a list. Mohit, I don't think работать is a совершенный. Работать, I think, is несовершенный. Да, несовершенный. Cindy, there is one letter that you skipped. So if the initial form is работать, okay, then you must delete the here and then keep adding different endings. Работаю, работаешь, работает, работаем, работаете, etc. So all these verbs that I have given you, they all follow the same formula. I chose them on purpose. So exactly the same formula. They all finish with the ending "t", and then you take away the "t" and you add all the endings. Okay, I can write the endings. And the same ending. And we can easily conjugate all of them because they follow the same formula. One thing that I want to bring attention to is that here for the pronoun "ты", which is the second person singular, there is a soft sign at the end, but you still must pronounce it in a hard way because the letter "sh" is always hard. We say работаешь, работаешь. However, now you know how to conjugate those verbs, but I must explain to you what they mean. So perhaps for a while, I'm going to delete all that. Znать means to know. Думать is to think. Слушать is to listen. Читать is to read. Кушать is to eat. To work. Мечтать is to dream. To dream. Открывать is to open. Закрывать is to close. Close. Выбирать is to choose. Мохит, there is no difference. There is no difference. Кушать is slightly higher class word, is like slightly higher class, but they are exchangeable. You can exchange them in every sentence. Кушать, есть, it is the same. I put the word кушать here, and I didn't put the word есть because есть is conjugated differently than кушать. Just for the sake of improving vocabulary, some of those verbs are being made of a noun, specifically these two. if you take away the ending t, you get another word, работа. Работа means work. It's a noun. Work. Mohit, you know, finally you made a mistake. You make me happy at least. I feel myself useful. I can correct the mistake. Yes, but you're right. Work is noun. Noun. By the way, maybe you have heard of such an English word, which is called a robot. Have you heard? Those automatic machines that do things automatically, robots. And the word robot and the word работа, they have pretty much in common. You can say that the word robot came out of the word работа. However, not directly from Russian language, but it went there through Czech language. Czech language. Because there was a writer in the Czech Republic who introduced this word, and in the Czech language, the work is also работа. And then he called the machine that is doing the job a robot. And then this word became popular and worldwide. But those two words are related because Russian language and Czech language are related. And мечта. Мечта means a dream. Мечта means a dream. Which is also a noun. Now, then if you add to, then you'll get the verb работать, to work, мечтать, to dream. Mohit, I would say the case that comes to my mind, it would be the prepositional case. Мечтать, hope, focus. To dream about vacation. It should be prepositional case. Okay, so those are the words. Let's conjugate them, some of them. Again, this is one of those topics that you can't memorize instantly in practice. And we're gonna conjugate some of these verbs during the lesson. And then the rest of the verbs will be your homework until Saturday. So let's do it. Yeah. First, let's conjugate the word мечтать. Мечтать. Please conjugate the word мечтать for all the pronouns. And then I'll give you the right answer. Here, your task is easy because the formula is the same as for previous verbs. Just want to let you know that in Russian language, there are so many rules in grammar that you can hardly remind on your memory. You need to develop some sort of a feeling, like you need to have some sort of an intuition. Because, yeah, some sort of an intuition. So when you learn Russian language, if you learn a new rule, you should always ask your heart, what is your heart telling you? Whether the heart understands or it doesn't understand, it likes the rule or it doesn't like. It's always about intuition. You need to build up your intuition. Yeah, that is correct. Я не читаю. Ты не читаешь. Не читают. Не читаем. Читаете. Читаете. And also, Jessica, I can see no mistake. And Neil also, there is no mistake. But other people, please continue writing. It's a good exercise for you. Those verbs that I have given you are not simple only in terms of conjugation, but also the stress doesn't change. So no matter how you conjugate it, the stress remains on the same syllable. It is not true for all the verbs. Yeah, for some verbs, the stress will change when you conjugate it in the present tense. And please remember, now we're only learning the present tense. You also need to learn conjugation in the past tense and in the future tense. And past tense and future tense, we have also perfect and imperfect. Okay, so let's see. We have conjugated. These verbs, if I'm not wrong, we have conjugated 3 verbs. And the remaining verbs, so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 verbs would be your homework. Please conjugate and type it to me in the private message. And I'll correct it. And also, I want to give you an introduction. Just we have a few more minutes to go. And I want to give you a bit of introduction about tenses. You know, in English language, there are so many tenses. We have present simple, present continuous, present perfect. We have past simple, past continuous, past perfect. Then we have present continuous, present perfect. I think in English language, there are, I think, 16 tenses, or maybe even maybe 20, maybe 3 or 15, maybe, or 18 tenses, maybe. I know, quite a big number of tenses. In Russian language, there are only 5 tenses. You have 3 times, which is present, past, future, and then you have aspect. You have perfect aspect and imperfect aspect. So and in the present tense, you don't have perfect aspect, you only have imperfect. So you only have 5 tenses in total. Yep. Cindy, yeah, I think 12, 12, and sometimes 16. So in Russian, there are only 5. So there are some aspects in which Russian language is more difficult than English, but there are some aspects where it is easier than English. But I really, guys, I admire you all that you're paying efforts. You're learning our language, which is difficult. But I hope you guys will be successful in your brave endeavor. Okay, and now we are almost used up our time. I hope you guys, you're clear about the homework. Next lesson, we'll continue talking about verbs, and there will be a new batch of verbs which are conjugating in a different way. So there will be a different formula. And in total, there will be a few, maybe 4 different formulas how to conjugate different verbs. Okay, and now I want to thank everybody. Thank you very much. We are going to finish the lesson now and see you on Saturday. Thank you very much for coming. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.